Hi, I'm Matthew, and tonight we're going to be creating some colourful portraits. Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us this evening for our very first quick class. Tonight we're going to be showing you how to create some interesting funky portraits, something with a little bit of colour. So Nikon has just released their home photography challenge, which we're really excited to be taking part in. So I want to show you today how to do something interesting at home. So my model today is my lovely wife Annie. She's going to be modeling for a few of our videos in the future, so really looking forward to it. I think we're going to have some fun together.
Super excited.
Okay, so with the Nikon Home Challenge, I believe the first challenge up on the Middle East Africa account is to do a family member. So I think this is going to be a great opportunity. Please, if you have any questions or comments, I would love to hear your thoughts. Please post them in the comments. We'll answer as many as we can throughout the class, and we'd love to hear your feedback as well. So I think let's get straight into it. Lighting wise, I'm using two LED panels at the moment. These lights are really great because you can shoot them on any camera, even a cell phone, which is really nice. The two I'm using are the NAN lights, which are absolutely amazing. There's a whole bunch of different features to them, including colorful lighting, which I really love. So I just wanted to let you know, I got these lights from DT Film Services. So I just want to do a huge shout out to them. Thank you so much, guys, not only for the lights, but also the streaming equipment that you've given us. It's not something that a lot of photographers carry, so thank you very much for helping us out with this specialist equipment. So DT Film Services, guys, go and check them out. They do rentals, all sorts of stuff, and they got some amazing equipment. So I think let's get into the first shots. Let's have a look here. My Annie, will you just turn your head a little bit to the side and up for me, and let's get this first shot. Love it. Let's have a look there, see how that's coming out. It's lovely, and first shot's coming up. So I'd love to hear what you guys think. I've personally picked a magenta or almost purpley color, I would say, and a little bit of a turquoise. Personally, I love this color combination. It's got that cyberpunk look, but really you can do any color combo you like. There's a lot of different things that work well together: reds and blues and yellows. The one thing I will say, not really a rule but a guideline, is your eye will always go to a warm color first. So warm colors are things like reds, yellows, oranges, stuff like that. So in this instance, I've used the warm color on Annie's face, so it goes to her face first, and then the cooler tone on the hair as a complement. Let's do a few more poses and see what we get. Can you bring your hand up to your face for me? Something very sort of light. Let's turn up the pinkies towards me. So just a quick posing tip with regards to hands. Hands look biggest front and back, and smallest from the sides. So whenever I'm posing a lady, I like to have her turn her pinky side to me, and the hand looks lovely and slim and elegant. And that's gorgeous. Let's zoom in a little bit there. Will you turn your head a little bit? There we go. Lovely. That's stunning. And let's take one more just for fun. Okay, let's see what we get there.
Adir says very creative colors.
Thank you so much, Adir, and thank you so much for joining us. If you guys haven't seen Adir's work, he's got some fantastic work on Instagram, Bridal Tech. Go and check him out. Really great photographer and a good friend of ours. Okay, let's switch back there. So I think it'll be really nice for us to try a few different colors. We're going to do a few tests for you tonight. If you have any color combinations that you like, post them in the comments. I've got my eye on the comments right now. So any color combos you'd like to see, let me know and we can shoot them. Just quickly before we go on, I want to talk about the camera equipment that we're using. So we've got 3 Nikons today. The first is the Nikon D750 there, and then this is my latest one, is the Nikon Z6, which is a really great camera. I got it a couple months ago. Really awesome for content, for video. The video capabilities are phenomenal, and we're using the kit lens, which is the 24-70 f4s, and then I'm going to be shooting today on the Nikon Z7 with the f2Z adapter and a 70-200 f2.8. So that combo it's my favorite for portraits and weddings. It's a really flattering lens. Stepping back and zooming in on your subject is a great way to just flatter the face a little bit. It doesn't warp the face. It gives you a really great result with how people are looking. So let's see.
I had a request for
blue and red. Okay, great. Let's give the blue and red a test.
And thank you, Jonathan. He says you're looking very good. And thank you, Amina.
Okay, so you can see I have set up blue and red there. Again, I've kept the red on the face. The eye goes to a warm tone first. So let's see how that's looking on the camera. Love it. Looking good. Beautiful. There we go. So that's the blue and red. I love this combo as well. I spent a lot of time playing with it and practicing before when I first got into sort of experimenting with colorful lights. It's the Superman colors, you know they go well together. So, and there's lots that you can do with it.
We've had a request for blue and green lights.
Blue and green. Let's see how that looks. Okay, so the blue and green is really close together, and obviously we don't have a warm tone color here. So there's no real warm color to put onto the face. So I've gone with a blue on the face and a green on the edge. Will you look up to that light for me, please? Lovely. Annie looks absolutely stunning. Thank you so much. I couldn't agree more. So you can see blue and green's really close together. There might be certain situations where it works for you. I do prefer the warmer color on the face personally, but that is really nice. Pink and white is another one I see. Let's have a quick look at pink and white. So let's go white on the front. Let's do the pink edge. There we go. So another great thing about these lights is you can switch between hard light and soft light, which is really nice. You can create a sort of variety of looks there. And there's a lot you can do with them. A few simple changes to a light can make a big difference to your image. So let's take a pic of the pink and white. I'm just going to up my exposure here a little bit. Oh, this is looking amazing. Love it. Okay, let's have a look there. Let's see how the pink and white comes out. Lovely. So that's something that is a little bit closer to a more natural light. I really like it. Something a little bit softer. Not as crazy or funky as two separate colors. I'm seeing a comment saying, how much are these lights? I believe they're about 2,500 each, but go and check out DT Film Services and they'll be able to give you an accurate price on that. What camera settings am I using? Okay, so for the last shot, we had 1/160th of a second, f2.8 and ISO 2000. Quite an important thing when it comes to colorful lighting is different colors will expose slightly differently. So just by changing the color, it might look slightly darker or slightly lighter on your camera. You will have to shoot and check and see how it looks and adjust your exposure accordingly. I have a request for black and white. So black and white we would do in post-production. We are going to be doing another class on editing using these images. So if you get the chance to shoot images like this at home, you can edit along with us and we'll definitely include a black and white version for you to have a look at. Can we shoot good pics on the iPhone 8 Plus? I have an iPhone 8 Plus myself. Yes, it does take good pics. Not nearly as good as the Nikons, but it is a decent quality. You wouldn't go wrong for like home stuff, and you know, if you're just learning and practicing some things, it is decent to shoot on there. Okay, I'm seeing a request for teal and orange, so let's give the teal and orange a try. Here's that orange.
Yes.
Sort of, eh?
I think so. Yeah, that's right.
Where's our teal? Okay, there's our teal. Okay, so I believe it was Allah that asked for a teal and orange version. Will you look up to that light? So now going from the white light to the colored light, I'm finding that I'm a little bit overexposed. So I am going to drop my exposure just a little bit, and this will give us a bit of a darker, moodier image and make the colors really pop. Just to Amir, Nikon is the best. Just by the way, throwing that out there. Let's have a look at how that comes out. Okay, so it is, when your camera shoots colors, sometimes it's not perfectly accurate according to how you've lit it. Your camera will adjust its white balance if you set to auto white balance. I would suggest tweaking your colors again in post-production. So again, we'll go through that in our next class, where we'll be playing a little bit with the intensity of each of these colors and how they look.
Quite a few people are beginners and are shooting on their phones. So would you like to take a picture on my iPhone of the setup to see and show everybody
How it looks on a phone.
how it would look on the phone if they were here with their cameras?
Have you got portrait mode on this phone? No.
It's not a fancy phone like your phone.
Here. Oh, got a bit of motion blur there. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can see that. Let me bring it back a little bit. But that's how it's looking on the phone. Very similar to the camera, but I mean, the quality of a high-end Nikon camera will always surpass that of a phone. That's, you know, that's what you're paying for with these good cameras. So it's really great to be able to use them to their fullest potential. Any tips for portrait photography in natural daylight and in manual mode? We're going to be doing a class on natural light photography as well. We have got quite a few planned for the next, I think, 3 or 4 weeks or so. We're going to be doing lots of classes. So thank you so much for all the suggestions. We're definitely going to include one on shooting with natural light and shooting on manual as well. What camera would you recommend for a beginner? So I'm not too sure. Obviously, budget plays a big role, but the Nikon Z50 was recently launched, and I got the opportunity to test one out, and it, you know, I really like the high-end, like Z7 style camera. I'm not one to use DX crops for work. It's not something I use often, but I was really blown away by the Nikon Z50. The low light capability was superb. It was far, far better than I expected, and I did have high expectations for the camera. It was light, it was portable. Actually, if you haven't seen, I got sent this recently, just for a bit more info on the Z50. Check it out. So yeah, that's the Z50. If you haven't tried it, I would definitely give it a try. When it comes to purchasing cameras, I always say try before you buy. Go and rent it for a day, see how it works, and see from there. If you like the camera, then you can go ahead and purchase it. So there's a few different looks that I wanted to show you today. We're doing a very basic 2-light setup at the moment, and just by changing the position of the light, you can really create a huge array of different images. So I'm going to show you the next image we have planned for you. Let's turn this one off. Let's flip this to background. So the next shot that we're going to be doing is a very, very quick, simple change. All I've done is I've turned the light on the left off, and I've turned the light on the right to face the background. I really love silhouettes. I do it in almost every single wedding photo shoot that I do. I try and bring it in somewhere. So this shot is going to be a silhouette. Will you lift your chin a bit for me? Lovely, a bit more. And maybe bring your hand up like this. There we go, with a bit of space. So it's almost as though you're in thought. Love it. Okay, so let's have a look at the silhouette. You guys can tell me what you think. Let me bring it up nice and big for you. There we go. So, quick change. I mean, it took me 30 seconds and we have a completely different looking shot. With subtle things like that, you can get a lot of variety out of the same space. I mean, this is our home studio. Garage like everybody else's. All I've done is I have taken the junk and moved it to the side, painted a little section of wall, and it works absolutely perfectly. So, yes, let's do another version. So we're going to keep the light on the background, and we're going to add just a little bit of light to Annie's face to see what sort of difference it makes. Oh, sorry. Let's go to the last one. Drop the power a little bit. Okay, so again, one small change. I've added the second light back in. Will you look up to that second light for me, please? I have adjusted the power of my light. You can turn your head slightly more towards me, just a little bit. There we go. Just for the setting, just to make sure my exposure is correct. Let's have a look at that. Okay, so again, the small change, and you have a completely different shot. So I'm going to play a little bit with the light angle. I feel like it's a little bit too far off to the side, so let's bring it around there. I saw Amir asked, how much power does the light lose when you diffuse it? So if you're diffusing the light, it depends on a number of factors. How far the light is from the diffuser is from your subject, stuff like that. Personally, I'm not overly specific. I try and kind of like do it by eye and by feel. Shoot a shot, check it. Does it need a little bit more light? Turn the power up. Does it need a little bit less light? Turn the power down. So just small changes like that will make a big difference. Will you look off about 45 degrees for me? Here we go. Lovely. And I just want to make a small change here. Drop the pile a little bit. Okay, so you can see there again, slight change in angle, nice big difference. And let's do one more. There we go. I think you might have blinked in the last one. Okay, let's see how that looks. Okay, so again, a little bit of change in angle. We've got more of the face lit. I can turn Annie more towards the camera. We can get a little bit more of her face, a little bit more of her eyes. I see in the comments we have, what software are you using to capture the images? So I don't normally shoot tethered. I've done it tonight just so that you can see what we're doing. But at the moment, I'm using Lightroom to shoot tethered. So I have it connected via the USB cable, the USB output on the Nikon Z7, and then the video is a HDMI output as well. So Lightroom is really great for tethering. A lot of people edit in it as well. Personally, I prefer Photoshop. I'll be showing you a bit more of that in one of the future classes. But in the group, please do, if you have any Photoshop questions as well for the next class, let us know. Okay, have we got any other comments or questions from the group?
From the WhatsApp group, a few people have mentioned that they're really interested in learning more about off-camera flash. So how would they use the colored light setup if they were working with studio flash?
Okay, so when it comes to flash and speed lights, you can do exactly the same thing. It's just a case of using a colorful cellophane, or it's like a clear gift wrap that you can buy in most stores. Get a variety of colors, cover your light with it, and then when the flash fires through it, it takes on that property. You can do this with any light. You don't need expensive lights like this, you really don't. A torch will work, a headlamp will work. It's just when you spend a bit of money, you get better quality. So again, you don't have to use these. You can come up with all sorts of hacks. We've used a variety of tools and techniques to get the same effect, really. But just play and experiment. I think that's one of the best things you can do, is set up a space at home where you don't have a paying client and just play without the fear of failing or messing up, because that's really part of getting great shots and learning photography, is you have to make mistakes. Have we got any other comments or questions?
On the WhatsApp group, people have mentioned that they're quite keen to learn about product photography and food photography as well. So for something like products, could they use the colored light setup for shooting those?
You can use the colored lights for shooting products and food. I would be careful with it though, because food and products have their own color palettes. They have, their own color to them, and you don't want to clash with that. So if you are going to use a colored light on food or a product, just be careful how you use it. It's still got to work. Any others?
There have been a few other questions on the WhatsApp group, but I think throughout the classes they'll be more relevant. One of the questions that was asked was, how do you get the floaty shoes pictures? I think we'll have to do a class on that.
We'll definitely have to do a class on the floating shoes. And I see somebody has asked, what color have you painted the section of the wall? So it's kind of like a beigey brown. It was a can of paint that I just found in my garage. When it comes to backgrounds, how you light them will change the way they look. So obviously, as you can see, we've lit it blue, it's going to look blue. If you underexpose it, you can make a white wall look black or grey, and you can make a black wall look white or grey as well by putting a lot of light onto it. So I don't think the color matters too much unless you want a specific setup to stay a certain way and that color is consistent throughout all your shots. Regarding, I see a lot of people asking questions about brands. I've been using Nikon for 15 years. I haven't really used any other cameras. I haven't felt the need to. The quality on them is superb, and the lifespan and build is phenomenal. So I haven't really tried anything else. I haven't felt the need to. Any other questions from the comment section?
Not for now. do you want to try a double side light? Because that's always quite fun with two different colours.
Okay, awesome. Let's do a different look here. What colour should we go for?
I like blue.
Blue
That's my
and?
favourite. Blue and pink.
Pink.
That's my favourite colour.
Yeah. Okay, will you look straight ahead for me? Okay, so the next setup we have done is called a double side light. It's something we use a lot. It works really well with men's faces specifically, and when you want to have the color contrast, it's really great. Chin down a little bit for me. There we go. Let's do something quite moody here. Okay, let's have a look and see how that double side light came out. So it gives you a different feel. I'm going to make a slight tweak to it. Lovely. So again, there's a different variation of the double side light. Hey guys, this is fun. So we've had a request from Amir for you to take a picture of me.
Oh,
so would you like to take one? I'll sit for the double side light.
Nice one, Amir. Okay, let's see here. Awesome. And will you lean back a little bit for me, my angel? Oh, that's lovely. Okay, let's see how that comes out. Let's have a look. That looks awesome. Matt is actually so photogenic. He should really be the one in front of the camera, but he can't shoot and be in front of the camera at the same time, but that looks really nice.
Well, the hair's a bit of a mess.
I like the hair.
February was definitely not the right month to skip a haircut. The hair's going to be so long by the time we're back again. Now he has a profile picture. Can you bounce colored lights? Yes, you can bounce it. You do lose a lot of the power when you bounce a light. These LEDs are not super high powered. They're not designed for working outdoors or in direct sunlight. So just be careful that your camera can handle high ISOs, but if it can, then you can definitely bounce the light if you want. What are my main cameras? I use a Nikon Z7. That's my #1 camera that I use. We use it for all of our portraiture and editorial work. And then we have the Nikon, I've actually got it here, it's the Nikon Z6. This we use for video content. It's amazing, amazing video camera, as well as for second shooting in the weddings. I think we can do a last check of any comments or questions, and then we're going to do 1 or 2 more shots and we're all done.
Just for somebody who's arrived late at the stream, we will be uploading the stream to our YouTube channel. So if you missed it or anybody else missed it, you can log onto our channel and watch it again at another time.
Yeah, YouTube will save all of our classes, so even if you're not available to make it at the time of the class, you can always join us afterwards. Obviously, we won't get your live comments, but it'll be really nice for you anyway. So we'll keep all the classes up, so when you have some free time, go and have a watch and you can let us know what you think. Okay, so I'm going to do one last quick setup for you that I'm going to show you. This is a setup we use for makeup feature shots and beauty shots. So we've been doing a lot of the colors. I want to do something a little bit cleaner just as another option for you. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a background light. Just so we got some lights on the background, it's not completely dark. And then we're going to switch over to this LED's soft light function. We're going to drop the power a little bit and raise it up as the stand will let me. Let's see how we can go here. Okay, so you can see we've switched to a clean white light here. I'm going to adjust my settings accordingly. Will you turn your face a little bit more? Just about 45 degrees, eyes down. And I'm going to zoom in a touch. Just adjust my camera. And just dip your chin a little bit. Nice, nice. It tilts good. Okay, so you can see I've gone a little bit closer, gone a little bit softer. It is a nice clean white light. This is a very similar setup to what we use for a lot of our beauty shots when we're photographing makeup, when we're photographing brides' faces. So yeah, that's another option. And you can see we've done, 3 or 4 different lighting setups, a variety of colors, and it really hasn't taken much work. It's just a case of subtle changes and they make a very big difference. So we're going to take any last questions now before we wrap up for the evening. Let's see.
What was your first camera?
My very first camera was a Nikon D80. I think that was in like 2006 or 7 or something. And that camera lasted me for a really long time. I then went to the D3200. And from there it was full frame all the way. So D600, D750, Z6 and Z7. Okay, let's see here. Don't you guys miss your assistants? Yes, Amina, come back to Durban, please. Not now, of course. You can stay at home for a little while, and then you can come back. Let's see. Now here's. Can you use the color setup for a tiled background or wall? Yes, you can. It'll work the same. It might just keep the texture of the wall. So if you have a reflective surface, you might get a few reflections coming off it. And I see you've also asked, or even a glass wall. It will work for glass, but the trick with glass is to light it from the other side. So you're going to put your light behind the glass wall, shine the color through the glass, and you'll get that color. Frosted glass would work even better because it would illuminate the entire thing. Glass is really, really difficult to photograph though, so you might have to play a little bit to get it right.
But if you'd like your background very dark, or your background's not too pretty and you want to bring less attention to it, the further you are away from it, the darker it will become and the more out of focus it will become. So that's also a great option.
Yeah, so there's lots you can do. I've seen a few comments about giving critiques on your pictures. So please, I would love you to play a little bit. If you've got some cellophane at home, some colored cellophane, give it a try, shoot some shots, post them to our WhatsApp group. We're more than welcome to discuss how everybody got their shots. I think, we can all learn from each other. Everybody's got their own experience. So we'd love to see the shots that you get. Please, please, please do shoot some and post. So I think that's everything for this evening. Thank you so much everybody for joining us for our very first quick class. We will be streaming probably again tomorrow with the next class. We're going to be doing some editing on the pictures that we took tonight. So I'll show you a few fun tricks on how to take those pictures that you've shot and then take them even further and play even more. Sorry, my cats are running around my desk here. But again, thank you all so much for joining us. It was an absolute pleasure. We're going to be doing lots of these over the next few weeks, and we're looking forward to having you in more. Again, please do let us know if you have any suggestions for classes. That's what our WhatsApp group is for. And have a wonderful evening and a great night, and stay safe, everybody. Bye-bye.